Good morning. First of all, let us pray and praise God because of His blessing and mercy. We can come together without any obstacles, here with healthy condition in the Indonesian culture, SMEs, and entrepreneurship or ECAMP. The Honorable Professor Wawan Dhewanto, STMHST, PhD as Entrepreneurship and MSME expert from Institute Teknologi Bandung. The Honorable Dwi Henry Setiawan, Bachelor of Economics, founder of Mr. Tukang. The Honorable Evi Nurul Leilizen, MA, PhD as academic staff at the Department of English, Faculty of Letters, Universitas Negeri Malang, Indonesia, and my beloved friend of UMKM 2021. Before we come to the main session, let us start this by praying first. So the event that we will hold on this day will run well without any obstacles at all. Pray based on individual belief begins.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Before we start our conference today, allow me to recite the prayers. We hope that this event will run smoothly. A'udzu billahi minasyaitonir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hamdan syakirin, hamdan na'imin, hamdan yuwafi ni'amahu wa yukafi mazidah. Ya Rabbana lakal hamdu kama yanbaghi li jalali wajhikal karimi wa 'azimi sultanik. Allahumma innaka ta'lamu anna hadhil quluba qad ijtama'at ala mahabbatik wal taqat ala ta'atik wa tawahhadat ala da'watik wa ta'ahadat ala nusrati syari'atik fawassikillahumma rabitataha wa adim muddaha wahdiha subulaha wamla'ha binurikal lati la yakhbu washrah suduraha bifaidil imani bik wa jamili tawakkuli alaik wa ahyiha bima'rifatik wa amitsa ala syahadati fi sabilik innaka ni'mal maula wa ni'man nasir. Allahumma hawwin alaina fi sakaratil maut. Allahumma hawwin alaina fi sakaratil maut. Allahumma hawwin alaina fi sakaratil maut wan najata minan nari wal afwa indal hisab. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanatan wa fil akhirati hasanatan wa qina adzabannar. Bifadlika ya Allah subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun. Wassalamun alal mursalin walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Al-Fatihah. Thank you. Salam.
Okay, done. Okay, everyone. Welcome. My name is Ardiani Marcella. I'm a management student of Faculty Economics and Business, Universitas Negeri Malang. It is my pleasure to welcome you this morning. I would like to thank you for joining us today for this ECAMP 2021 on Indonesian culture, SMEs, and entrepreneurship. Now, without further ado, we will turn the time over to the moderator. Our moderator today is Evi Nurul Leilizen, FSMA, PhD. Okay, our moderator graduate from National University of Singapore, PhD in English, Language and Linguistics. And she also worked in academic staff at the Department of English, Faculty of Letters, Universitas Negeri Malang until now.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ardani, for delivering me and for bringing me to this stage. Assalamualaikum. Good morning, everyone. From Indonesia, of course. I know you're coming from around the globe, so probably you're not morning yet, yeah, in your place. So welcome to the first session of the ECAMP webinar. And please allow me to be a moderator for today's session. And for the first one, we're going to have Prof. Wawan Dhewanto from the Institute of Technology Bandung, or ITB. Good morning, Prof. Good morning again. Yeah. I'm so honored, by the way, I'm so honored to be here with you, and of course, more than ready to listen to your talk. Prof. Wawan is a faculty member at the School of Business and Management Institute of Technology Bandung, who has been involved in developing the entrepreneurship and Technology Management Research Group, and of course was the convener of the research group from 2012 to 2017. He was also the director of the bachelor program on entrepreneurship from 2013 to 2018, while also within those time serving as the head of Entrepreneurship Development Division of ITB Entrepreneurship and Innovation Development Institute. Wow, that must be a huge job, Prof. Professor Wawan received his doctoral degree in business and economics from Monash University of Australia back in 2011, if I'm not mistaken, and earned his master degree in technology, policy, and management from Technische Universiteit Delft, the Netherlands. Hope I didn't spell the name wrongly here. He is indeed a very productive and promising scholar with a significant number of yearly research grants and of course paper publications. Yeah, his press from the Oven research paper has just appeared at the International Journal of Public Sector Performance Management 2021. Congratulations for that publication, Prof. So with this profile, we know that we're going home with a lot of things, learning from your talk today. And Prof, you have 80 minutes of talk or delivering your presentation, 80 minutes. And following that 80 minutes of presentation, we are going to have 20 minutes of discussion as well as question and answer. So we are so much looking forward to that, Prof. So I give the floor to you. Yeah.
Thank you very much to Evi. Thank you also to Diana for inviting me to share with all of you. Yeah. Before I start, usually, yeah, because it's lecturing, I start with quiz. Yeah. And for the quiz, please just raise hand. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm wondering, yeah, who come from Indonesia? Yeah. Yang dari Indonesia angkat tangan coba, raise hand. I want to calculate, yeah, out of 40 attendants in Zoom, how many students from Indonesia? Please raise your hand using the
reactions.
Using reaction in Zoom. Okay, thank you. Okay. And then who come from Europe? Silahkan yang dari from Europe. Okay.
Oh.
Who come from Africa? Please raise your hand. Yeah, I see from Cameroon. I see from Uganda.
Kenya.
I also see from Kenya. Yeah. Okay. Who come from Asia?
Vietnam.
Okay, I see from Vietnam. Yeah. And who come from America and Australia? Okay, it's good. Yeah, we come from all over the world. Yeah, and therefore we can share each other during this boot camp or entrepreneurship camp. And then I'm wondering, yeah, after you graduate from your study, who want to become entrepreneur? Siapa yang mau jadi entrepreneur? Maura, Nguyen Min, Yuli Susetio. Oh, Jabir Amin from Turkey. Yeah? And then who want to become wife of entrepreneur? Istrinya pengusaha. And then who want to become husband of entrepreneur? Menjadi suaminya pengusaha. Then yeah, it's complete ya. Some of you want to become entrepreneur. Some of you become one wife of entrepreneur. Some of you become husband of entrepreneur, and some of you want to become professional, work in multinational company. Okay. Therefore, this class complete ya. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning for everybody. Today I will deliver a topic about entrepreneurship, technology, and young generation. Yeah, before I start, I want to know who have experience to see this movie, the Korean movie with title Startup. Oh, Maura already watched this movie. Can you tell something, Maura, about this movie? So one way to understand more about entrepreneurship, about startup is see this movie, the startup. In one side, entrepreneurship, startup give big hope, because many startup, many entrepreneur, become unicorn or company with valuation more than 1 million US dollar. But in one side, it's not easy to have startup and to scaling up to unicorn. Therefore, in this movie, we can watch the up and down of the entrepreneur, the up and down of the startup. When we talk about now, we talk about entrepreneurship and startup. Entrepreneurship is the field of the study, while the startup is the entity. The entrepreneur is the people. The entrepreneurship is field of study, the entrepreneur is the people, and the startup is the entity of the business. Before I continue, I want to share a video with you about the entrepreneur. Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Starting your own business is one of the biggest dreams of our times. But how do you get to be an entrepreneur? Most of the advice focuses on the practicalities, writing a business plan, raising money, finding staff, marketing and PR. We'll go down a different route. In our eyes, at the heart of successful entrepreneurship lies something oddly more abstract, accurate insight into the causes of human unhappiness. To be an entrepreneur means essentially to become an expert in the things that make life difficult for people. That's because every properly ambitious business is in some way trying to fix things for other people. The bigger and more original what you're trying to fix happens to be, the more successful your business can be. Consumer society is now well developed. It may be easy to think that all the big problems out there already have thousands of fixes anyway. There's car companies or pizza outlets or news websites. We surely have enough of everything. What could we possibly add to what's already out there? In the sense of the vast opportunities that still remain in capitalism, all you need to do is ask yourself where and in what areas you're unhappy in the course of an average day. Every unhappiness is really a new business waiting to be born. Your frustrations are a nearly inexhaustible source of raw materials, out of which the businesses of the future can be built. So while there may already be plenty of breakfast cereals and t-shirts and cell phones and cab rides for sale, there's so much more that frustrates and depresses us. Think of how difficult it is to get on with one's partner, educate children, cope with anxiety, discover what you want to do with your life, find a nice place to live, calm down in the evening. On and on. Our griefs and irritations are endless, thankfully, for the budding entrepreneurs. The biggest first step to take towards entrepreneurship is therefore to learn to study your own unhappiness and what might possibly heal it for you and others. When profits decline in businesses, it's really the result of too many people throwing themselves at trying to fix the same area because they can't think of anything more innovative to do, rather than start a new airline, mobile phone company, or supermarket chain. And by contrast, healthy profits are a reward for understanding and mastering an area of human distress ahead of anyone else. Of course, ideas aren't enough on their own. You need to take care of practicalities and money, but they won't help you if your original psychological insight into human unhappiness isn't sound. And by the same token, if your insight into what makes people unhappy is razor sharp, and your solutions bold, then however difficult the journey, your business will stand a high chance of making money and benefiting humanity too.
Okay, you just see that video. Now we will back to my slide. When we talk about entrepreneur, yeah, entrepreneurship is the field of study. Entrepreneur is the people. Then we talk about people that can see the business opportunity and take the initiative to mobilize all the resources to pursue that opportunity. They make good, they make service to fulfill this business opportunity. So this field comprised of creation and recognition opportunities, and also how the people, the entrepreneur sees the opportunity, and then based on the opportunity is built new business, and the business has potential return, also potential risk. They may success, they may fail, and if success, they make profit. If they fail, they make a loss. Yeah, and of course, if we talk of entrepreneur, we can see the worldwide entrepreneur, Bill Gates, for example, of Microsoft, Mark Zuckerberg of Facebook. But we also talk about the young entrepreneur. So when we talk entrepreneur, we talk about the very successful entrepreneur. We also talk about the young entrepreneur. They share the similarity, that they are independent individual. They have a resilient to pursue their dream. They work very hard, and they share character that they have optimism, to see the opportunity, to see the future, and they see the competition with the success and failure as a learning. Sometimes they success, sometimes fail, but based on that, they learn something. And based on the learn, they make better success. If we talk about startup, startup is really related with entrepreneurship. Startup is the entity, the organization, It's emphasize the innovation. It's not only about providing product and service, but also commercialize that product and service. And at the moment, when I visit this website, Startup Ranking, we can see that the profile of startup all over the world, the highest number of startup in US, and I believe, yeah, each of your country there is startup. Therefore, now, yeah, I ask you to visit that website. Yeah, I ask you to visit that website, and I ask you to mention at least one startup in your country that you are interested.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, I will put the website in. Okay, I put the link of the website in Zoom chat. Yeah. And now please visit that website. I give you 5 minutes. Pick up one startup that you interesting, and please chat, write that the name of the startup in the Zoom chat. I give 5 minutes. Please visit that website. And please choose one startup. That you most interested. And after choose, please type in Zoom chat, yeah. Okay, Yuli choose Telegram. I believe in each of your country there is startup there. But Brigita, please choose one of them. Please choose one of startup from that website. Mas Yuli choose Telegram. Linus choose Telegram as well. I give you 5 minutes, yeah, to choose one of them, yeah, that you are most interesting. Oh, Evi choose Canva, yeah. That's for make presentation, yeah, usually. Kak Anggi, Andrian, please Canva also. Kak Amin pilih Canva.
Maura, probably. Do you want to contribute an answer? Come on, guys. Brigita. Shahra. Yeah, choose your favorite. Oh, Canva again, bro.
Okay, okay. Okay, now, yeah, the most favorite in our class Canva, yeah. I invite Mas Andi Adrian. Please mention why you interested with that product. Why you choose that startup? Why you interested with that?
Welcome, because Prof make it easy to student to make a presentation like that, sir.
Okay, make the student easy to make presentation. Bahlinus from Cameroon, you also choose Canva. What is your reason to choose Canva?
Yes, I choose Telegram.
Oh, Telegram. Okay, yeah.
I choose Telegram, and with us in Africa, I choose Telegram because that is the most common one that I'm used to here in Africa and my country. That I know that can enable me to do online business easily, since it's the common one that I have here in Cameroon, and I'm used to it.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Bahlinus. Yeah.
Yeah.
I also have Telegram, but I prefer to use WhatsApp. But it's okay, yeah. Nguyen Min, do you want to say something?
Yeah, Nguyen Min is choosing Canva also. Is it also popular in Vietnam?
Okay.
Okay.
How about Jaber Amin? You choose OVO, yeah. Why you interesting with OVO, Jaber?
Probably he is a shopper, Prof.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. Now I invite Brigita, ya, Mbak Brigita. Why you choose Canva, Mbak Brigita?
Okay.
Oh,
Isn't mine.
Okay, I compare Canva with PixArt, and I think it's better about Canva because it's
thank you, ya. So when you are interested with one startup, you can do benchmarking or comparison, yeah, whether the similar product already exists. It's okay, yeah. Maybe it exists in US or exists in China, and you make a similar product that can be and make modification, yeah, make modification, make innovation, and make contextual based on the country, based on the culture. Yeah, because when we say cross culture, the need of every country will be maybe not really same, yeah. For example, yeah, today we discuss, yeah, some prefer use Telegram, yeah. In Indonesia, we prefer use WhatsApp, for example. Now I back to slide.
Persiapan kita melaksanakan program, mudah-mudahan nanti berjalan dengan lancar, tidak ada komplain dari mahasiswa. Biasanya setelah menilai itu kan
Okay, let's I continue, yeah. And this the journey, yeah, of startup in Indonesia. In 1998, there are a lot of web.com company website, yeah, and at that time, this is the beginning of internet era. That a lot of companies have their website, and in 2009, it's beginning of that startup become popular in Indonesia. This first Tokopedia. Tokopedia is for retail company. They founded in 2009, and 8 years later become unicorn. Unicorn is a startup that have valuation more than $1 million. And then Gojek, this is up for transportation, founded in 2009, and then become unicorn 6-7 years later. Bukalapak,
yang kedua, kecurangan bisa dalam bentuk tadi 815 atau 17.000 jelas kelihatan.
Thank you ya. Okay. It's okay ya. For my class, make it relax. You can bring coffee in the left and bread in your right ya. It's okay. Make it relax ya.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's open ya. Okay, and then Gojek is transportation, Tokopedia and Bukalapak is in retail. Traveloka is for traveling ya, and it's also become unicorn. And the number of unicorn in Indonesia is keep increasing ya. Although there is pandemic, although there is economic recession, but the number of unicorn is increasing. So if we talk about quantity, then we can check from that website ya, startup.com that Indonesia, and also in your country ya, they have startup ya. I believe in Vietnam, in Turkey, in Kenya, all of your country has startup ya, and some few of them become unicorn. For example, Indonesia, Gojek, this in transportation, Tokopedia, Bukalapak, this is in retail, OVO in payment, Traveloka in traveling industry, TNT in logistic and distribution. And then one step after unicorn, we call Centaur. Yeah, Centaur is if the assessment valuation is more than 500 million US dollar. Yeah. So, and that one is across some industry. Yeah, fintech, e-commerce, logistics, new retail, software as services, online travel, agri-tech, healthcare, co-working, edtech, insurtech, online marketing. And yeah, there are also many fields that increasing: agri-food, supply chain, logistics. Yeah, especially this increasing during pandemic. Yeah, because the pandemic and there are many people want to develop startup in e-health or an insurance industry. And also, during pandemic, there are increasing startup in agri-food and increasing number of startup in supply chain and logistics. Yeah, because there are change of behavior. Yeah? In the past, we prefer go to doctor directly face to face, but now we can do it online. In the past, we prefer to go restaurant, eat there, but now we bring at home and eat at home. Therefore, at the same time, there are many increasing number of supply chain and logistic company. Now, we talk about cultural-based entrepreneurship and technology. I want to show you one video. I want to show you one video about cultural. I see here, I see here that the attendant is come from many countries. Yeah, and I believe in each country has their own culture. And therefore, I want to show you the
So previously, when we were using spreadsheets, we were heavily meeting dependent. It took us hours to update
culture.
Culture is what people bind, but also what groups can distinct. Culture is the way how we live together, but also separates us. Our culture is a proof that we human beings are made to live together. If we are agreed to the same norms and values, or celebrating on the same common event, screaming for the same football club, and fight for the same rights, then we are sharing a culture. But what if a culture needs another culture? And what if they have to work together? Is that possible? Only if you understand each other, or agree to the difference but finding a path in the middle. Like starting doing business in the Arabic Emirates. The land with all the oil is a typical Arabic country with much of its cultural aspects thanks to the influence of the Islam. Especially a big step for Western companies. It's individualism versus collectivism. In the Western world, we like to chase our individual dreams, and it's every person on his own. In the Emirati culture, the family depends a lot more on each other. Or what about a country that has a strategic position between Europe and Asia? Turkey is maybe even more difficult to do business in. With its very Western-oriented cities like Istanbul and their more Arabic-focused smaller villages more into the country, both with a complete different identity and culture. And here's a tip. If you want to do business in Turkey, you have to know that a business relationship is not based on making money, but the most based on trust, like having a new family. It's always a good advice to start trying to understand the difference between cultures. And don't trust on your preconceptions. If I say Indonesia, maybe you think about the history of the country as a former part of the Kingdom of the Netherlands. You will think that their culture will be almost the same as the from the Dutch. But no, you have it wrong. Did you know that the left hand is considered unclean in many countries? Well, that's also true in Indonesia. Never hand anything to another person using your left hand. If this makes the action somewhat cumbersome by having to change hands, take the time to do it anyway. And that is my second tip. And if you talk about a country as Malaysia and their business culture, then first you have to know that there is a huge distance between power. So you have to know with who you have to talk for your business. But not only rules you find the differences. Like in this country, people are avoiding physical contact as much as it can. So don't give your business partner pats on the back. For what is completely not done, touching someone's head. They believe that is the home of the soul. So before you start doing business international, it's very important to get the right information about the culture differences. Knowing what you can and can't do can be the difference between success and failure. The first impression is always very important, and when you start your first conversation with showing that you are really interested in the other, then you will have probably a prolific cooperation in the future.
Okay. Now we back to my slide, yeah. One of researcher that addressed about cultural difference is Hofstede, yeah. The first is and he see from at least 6 perspective, yeah. The first is power distance, whether the people is more egalitarian and embrace hierarchy. I have feel that I spent 4 years in Australia and 2 years in Netherlands. I see, and people in Netherlands as well is more egalitarian, and Indonesia is more hierarchy. And for example, the second is collectivism and individualism. I say that Indonesian is more collectivism, and people in Australia, Netherlands is more individuals. And the third aspect is uncertainty avoidance. Yeah. The fourth is and masculine. The fifth is short-term and long-term orientation, and the sixth is resistance in the example. Yeah, we can check the score of culture of your country. Yeah, for each country here, how much the score? Yeah. For example, here Indonesia is very high in power system. It's more hierarchy. Whether Indonesia and is low in individual, so it's more collectivism. This is the example. And yeah, I really suggest when you visit country, when you have collaboration with your friend from other country, you can compare the culture before make collaboration. And then when we talk about culture entrepreneurship or culture based business, bisnis yang berbasis budaya, entrepreneurship, cultural based entrepreneurship, then we can refer to creative economy, economy creative. If we talk about this business, is really related with the culture, architecture, interior design, ECAMP, design communication visual, product design, film, photography, craft, culinary art, music, fashion, application, publishing, advertising, television, performance art, and fine art. Yeah, those creative economy is related with culture, and therefore there is specific about that business. This example of a startup in creative industry. For example, there is a startup have specific in food tour, from production until delivery of food. There is a startup Indonesian virtual tour, this in tourism. There is also application halal trip, for example, this related with culture. Now, I will talk about effective entrepreneurship model for youngster, for young entrepreneur. Before that, I want to show you a video.
Kita punya satu. Visit our website startup.
This video will show about entrepreneurship lesson from some successful founder. Okay. Before I start, can you see the screen of the video? Bisa ya, okay.
Yeah.
I will continue.
Stories.in for more inspirational stories and updates from the startup world. In life, the number one thing that people screw up on is this. They buy stuff they don't need. It's that simple. Go look at your closet sometime. 80% of the crap at the bottom of your closet are clothes you don't wear anymore, and yet you paid for them because you thought you needed them and you wanted them. Imagine if you could turn all that stuff back to cash, or better still, you never bought it. That cash would be in the bank right now, making interest for you, or an investment that pays interest or a dividend. But no, it's sitting at the bottom of the closet. Get money. That's what that is. That's a huge problem. So think about this. Let's say you actually owe $200 on your credit card, and you're passing a hot little coffee spot, and you're thinking about getting a cappuccino for $2.30. Don't do it. Pay off the $200 first. Don't spend money on stuff you can't afford. It costs 15 cents to make coffee. You're paying somebody $2.30. The rest of it could have been used to reduce your debt. That's the whole deal. Don't buy stuff you don't need. Make sure you go through every single month in a way that you respect money. that you somehow pay back. You look at the world around you, where ideas were born, where individuals started in garages. Where did Microsoft, where did Apple, where did Amazon, where did Google, where did Facebook come from? They came from ideas that people felt something could be done and that they could make a difference. So as you go out into this world, I would hope that you look at being ethical and holding the value systems which you want this country to have. If you think you cannot make a difference, I'd say you very well can make a difference. If you speak or sit next to a Nobel laureate, he never tells you that he won a Nobel Prize. Other people tell you. So let humility be your best defense. And I would say that you always need to view that, and you shouldn't merely consider yourself successful based on the prosperity you gain for yourself, but you should go home at night feeling satisfied if you have made a difference. That difference is something each one of us can make. We have failures and we've had frustrations, but it's a continued commitment that we have to the world around us.
You know, working the real world, I would say, you know, it is important to be well-rounded. It's important to, try different things, take some risks, and you want to aim high enough that you fail, a few times. I think that's the natural part of the process. If you work on really difficult things, you're better off because you have no competition. Others aren't working on that difficult a problem. And even if you fail, you end up doing something great in the process.
My advice to the young people, any mistake is a wonderful revenue for you. So I tell myself and told my young people, before 20 years old, be a good student. When you do entrepreneur, just to learn some experience. Before 30 years old, follow somebody. Go to a small company. Normally in a big company, it is good to learn processing. You are a part of a big machine. But when you go to small company, you learn the passion, you learn the dreams. You learn how to do a lot of things at one time. So before 30 years old, it's not which company you go, it's which boss you follow. It's very important. A good boss teaches you differently. From 30 to 40 years old, you have to think very clearly, you're working for yourself if you really want to be an entrepreneur. When you're 40 to 50 years old, you have to do all the things that you are good at. Don't try to jump into the new area. It's too late. You may be successful, but the rate of dying is too big. So 40 to 50, think about how can you focus on things that you are good at. But when you are 50 to 60 years old, work for the young people because young people can do better than you. So rely on them, invest on them, making sure they're good.
I've told a lot of people, it doesn't matter how many times you fail. If you get it right, you're an overnight success. All you gotta do is get it right one time. I mean, the thing about being an entrepreneur is it's just all to you. You know, a lot of people like to make excuses. I don't have connections. I don't have money. I don't have this. But, if you find something that you like to do or love to do, be great at it and see if you can turn it into a business. In worst case, you're going to have fun doing what it is you love to do. In best case, you can turn it into a business. I'm just not big on excuses. I just think if everybody has that opportunity to go for it, they just got to do it. I sold powdered milk and that was a disaster. I had my senior year project in Indiana was opening up a bar that got closed because of a wet t-shirt contest with a 16-year-old. That was a disaster. That was good because it kept me out of the bar business. I got fired from my first job in the software business because I wanted to close the deal instead of going out and closing the sale. Instead of coming in and sweeping the floor, it didn't matter how many times I failed. I just kept on going and going and going. And entrepreneurs need to realize that sometimes it's not the idea. It's not who you know, it's not how much money you have access to. It's really finding something that you really love to do. I had no idea I loved computers and technology, none. I took one class in Indiana in computers and I cheated to get through it. It was Fortran. And then I bought a little PC, a 99 4A from Texas Instruments for $99, started teaching myself to program and found, you know, 4 hours later, 5 hours later, I would look up and I'd been working this entire time and I loved it. And so that was the difference. When I failed a lot of times, and I didn't know where I'd find my success. And then all of a sudden I started playing with PCs and technology and it just clicked.
We just see the video, yeah, the advice from 5 successful entrepreneur. The lesson learned from them, yeah, many lesson learned that you can pick up from them. Now I back to my slide. Okay, when we want to create young entrepreneur, of course, first is we need to create a supportive ecosystem. Ecosystem is where the young entrepreneur work together. It can be business incubator, can be association, it can be community. Yeah, and of course, like what the successful entrepreneur said, they say that we need a mentor, yeah, something that you can follow, you can learn from. And we can also expect to keep innovation culture, to provide something different with that exists in the market and keep value for the user of the market. And when we develop innovation, yeah, we should understand the position, yeah, whether in one industry, whether this is still in growth, is in major, or is in decline, yeah. And usually our product, our company follow that pattern, and we want to say about the future, then we need to create the business strategy, and the business strategy we need to put that in one side we focus in growth in terms of the market, in terms of the product, in terms of the portfolio. We expect also the return, for example, value chain, marketing, operation. We also consider the risk, regulatory management, reputation management, and operational risk management. Here, we not only talk about the existing, but talk about the future, the sustainable. And when we talk about the future, we talk the sustainable. We not only consider the economy. When we talk about SDG, Sustainable Development Goal, we talk about economy, but we also think about social and environmental aspect. And during the pandemic, we realized that during post-pandemic, the business that exists should consider this aspect. They consider digitalization. So and after the post-pandemic is more hybrid. So before is offline, during pandemic we go online, and after post-pandemic is hybrid between offline and online. And the product capability should be increased, and we should survive, and the entrepreneurs should keep innovative. And when develop the startup, it's not one night or 1 year. It takes long time. Yeah? Usually people start from idea and they develop minimum viable product. And you said they join incubator. Yeah? And after that, they start to have expansion. And the expansion, they should consider the talent, funding, market environment, and government support. So basically for startup, they have this business cycle, and for the its business cycle, then there are specific things that we should consider. Yeah, in the future, yeah, if we see the startup, yeah, then some of them prefer private, so the majority of share owned by the founder. Some of them prefer to public, yeah, IPO, and some of them be acquired by investor. And then what LDB feels that need in the future, yeah, of course, we should incorporate digital and technology, information technology in the business. And this is the challenge faced by entrepreneurs. Usually they need connection and networking, funding and financial, idea creation, support and trust, and skill and passion. And yeah, this is that we need to develop in the future when we talk about common ecosystem development in Indonesia. And this is entrepreneurship model that related with youngster, yeah, young entrepreneur that start keep innovative and then start building plan and factories. Yeah, because almost the startup have the risk, but we should make sure that it's calculated risk. The next is join community or association. And the next is establish or join ecosystem of entrepreneurship. When we talk ecosystem, yeah, our university focused in this human capital, yeah, education institution. But when we develop entrepreneur, it's not enough. Yeah, there should be another support, yeah, from government policy. For example, Indonesia is now very supportive. Yeah, our Minister Education has background of startup founder, yeah, Mas Nadiem. Yeah, and then we should ensure market access, financial access, the culture, yeah, especially for bring success story and the support. Now, yeah, I want you to see video, yeah, about young entrepreneur, yeah. Yeah, he built the startup in young age.
Public pressure and increasing regulation hold companies accountable. No runner has never been one for.
Before I start the video, can you see the screen?
Yeah, sure, bro.
Yeah, okay, so.
A typical 9-to-5 job.
As a student, I didn't have money to afford renting sailboats, stuff like that. So I tried to find a way how I can get out on the water, and had the opportunity to become a skipper and then drive around sailboats all around the world, get paid for it.
So perhaps it's unsurprising that entrepreneurship, not a fancy corporate job, was Rem's calling.
Some of these things are indeed transferable in the same way how you might involve your crew in figuring out what to do today and how to go about their vacation. You still also want to bring your team on board inside a company.
But the industry that Rem and his co-founders are trying to revolutionize sits at the center of all business, human resources, or HR for short. And clearly they're onto something. For Sonio, their HR software startup is already valued at more than $6 billion, making it one of Europe's most valuable startups. Renner founded Personio in 2015 with 3 friends. The 4 met while studying at the Centre for Digital Technology and Management, a joint institution from 2 of the main universities in Munich, Germany. The idea for Personio came from the experience of one of Renner's friends, who wanted a software solution for organising payroll and recruitment processes while working as a chief technology officer at another company. Where did the idea for Personio come from?
HR in small and mid-sized organization is oftentimes managed based on multiples of spreadsheets. And while usually spreadsheets can be an effective way of managing people and data, it's different with HR data because there's so many people inside the organization that needs to access HR data.
These shortcomings were particularly apparent at small and medium-sized companies. Most existing human resource information systems were created with larger corporations in mind, and were either too complicated or too expensive for these smaller businesses.
We are focused exclusively on a space of 10 to 2,000 employees, so that's a big differentiator.
With the vision clear, they got to work, but it wasn't easy. For the first 12 months, Personio was founded out of the founders' pockets. What was the first year like? Are there any fun stories you have?
Talking about funding it on our own pocket sounds like we had money, which we didn't. Yeah. So we were students. We started working at university, just in random rooms, sitting together, working on the product. One story that came about just before our first round of funding, when you raise a round of money, you're kind of certifying that you've paid all your invoices. So we had to pay everything that was outstanding. It was literally, I still have a screenshot from that bank account. We had like a couple of €100 left in the bank account.
In July 2016, they raised 2.1 million euros from early stage investors, including Global Founders Capital, which has backed the likes of LinkedIn and Facebook. Since then, Personio has raised more than $500 million through several rounds of funding from investors, including Northzone, which has also invested in Spotify and Klarna. Its most recent round saw Personio raise $270 million, valuing the company at $6.3 billion. The funding is set to be used for a new category of software called People Workflow Automation. The aim here is to help HR remove barriers between company departments using Personio's software.
So I can go in my dashboard and I can just request maybe an absence, and then automatically it will end up here. The same way also I can do this from Slack. The focus on people and HR has definitely improved and gotten a lot bigger. So people have understood that with the pandemic, there's increased importance of that function. It also accelerated the need for people workflow automation, because with so many different tools being implemented with Slack, Microsoft Teams and others, you want these tools to be talking to each other and you want them to work together to avoid delays.
While the company isn't profitable yet, Personio says turnover doubled last year and then doubled once again this year. The software business has grown from 350 employees in 2020 to over 1,000 in 2021. It now operates out of 5 offices in Munich, Madrid, London, Dublin, and Amsterdam.
It's like growing older yourself. You look in your mirror every day and therefore you don't realize that you get some wrinkles or maybe some gray hairs. And it's the same with the business. Zoomed out, there's a lot that has changed over the past 5 years. Of course, being day-to-day into the business, it's not that we come from 3 people to 1,060 people in a few days, but it was essentially with every day, month, quarter, there's been development and there's been change.
It's an impressive story for sure. But what do the industry experts say? Can that growth continue?
The kind of expectations employees have nowadays of their software have really moved forward, whether it's from benefits management, whether it's sort of software supporting remote work, whether it's software that allows you to manage your career better. I think there's all kinds of areas of HR software opening up and really doing justice to the fact that the biggest assets companies have are their people.
But with tech giants like Salesforce and SAP also operating in the space, can startups like Personio break through?
We saw with Personio that they are truly becoming a system of record, right? And so once you're embedded like that in the day-to-day HR life of a company, there's some very natural extensions, right? So the initial extension that they chose was to do payroll as well. And then recently announced that they want to take this to the next level and do automation.
So where does Renner see Personio in another 6 years' time?
We're still at a very, very early innings. We're now having 5,000 customers in Europe. which represents less than 0.3% of the market. So we can grow plentyfold more because all of these companies need to digitize. All of these companies should receive the support in managing their people more effectively. The other part that we really care about is our culture here at Personio, and the core fundamentals when it comes to our core values, our operating principles. They should retain the same, and they should be able to scale even as we get to 5 or 10,000 employees.
Okay, we will back to slide.
Prof, a minute.
Okay.
Yeah. I just want to invite participants here. Wherever you have a question, please feel free to type in the chat and let us know about that. Yeah, Prof. Thank you.
Okay. When we talk about young entrepreneur, yeah, there is website, yeah, for base under 30. Yeah, it's mean 30 young people under 30. But of course, this for base under 30 is not only entrepreneur, yeah. They have a different profession. Now I ask you, yeah, to visit that website. I already put in Zoom chat. Please choose one of them that maybe can inspiring you. Yeah, of course, when we talk about entrepreneur, we talk about startup. Yeah, one way, yeah, to have a role model. The role model of the success is maybe Mark Zuckerberg or Bill Gates, but now I want you to find the role model that under 30 years old. I already put in Zoom chat, yeah. Now please visit that website and please choose one of them, yeah, that inspire you most. Visit Forbes website and please choose one role model, yeah. And after you choose, you can type in chat, yeah, which one you choose. I will resend, yeah, the website. So if you just join, you can still visit that website. In this website, it's come from many countries in the world, yeah. So you might choose someone who come from the same country with you, or you can choose someone different. Yeah.
There's so many, Prof. So it's like not easy. It's going to be very challenging to choose one of them.
Yeah, it's true. It's very challenging. Yeah, but at least choose one of them. Yeah.
So probably it's not only choosing the area or science, for example, but choosing the person, right, Prof? Do you
Yeah.
mean the person? Yeah.
Yeah, I expect choose person. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So go deeper. For example, you can open the science and choose any person that inspire you in the science section. I'm also choosing science here. Medi Hall, 28 years old, co-founder of Living Carbon. Seems she is really influential right here. Oh, yeah. We have answer right here, bro.
Hawa Mufti, I choose Basim Al-Asatin. Can you explain Basim Al-Sayeb? Hawa, can you explain who is he?
Oh, do you call me?
Yeah, Hawa, please. Hawa, please explain what. Yeah, you choose Basim Al-Sayeb. Basim Al-Satin. Who is he?
She is Marty Ho. Yeah, I chose her simply because her smile.
Oh, okay.
That's interesting. Oh,
And when I click her, I read her statement is climate change is one of the biggest existential threat facing society right now, and I think climate change is a topic I always want to know more about it.
Oh, it's good. Good choose, yeah, Hawa. Okay. And now I invite Anggi Adrian. Who you choose, Anggi?
Let me think first, sir.
Ooh. Mm-hmm.
Under 30.
Multiple new group of viruses. Wow. We have responses from Hawa here, Prof.
Yeah, he has discovered multiple new group of viruses and
It's a PhD candidate.
PhD candidate. Oh, interesting, yeah. I admire intellect. Okay, from those two exercise, yeah, in the morning. Okay, Jabir Amin, do you want to say something to your friend?
I think Jabir is living with in a double room, bro. So
Okay.
he didn't want to just disturb, her friend.
Okay, it's okay. Yeah. Okay. Today we have to exercise. Yeah. The first I give exercise about startup, and the second I give exercise about young youngpreneur or young professional. Yeah. My objective is you can have a dream as big as possible. Yeah. Big dream, but you should start small. Yeah. Something achievable. The startup, the youngpreneur, I assume that you can achieve the similar thing, yeah, because they are young. Yeah, I think you are almost most of this attendant is 20 years old. I believe that in the next 5 years, next 10 years is achievable to have the similar role. Those two exercise is make it can describe, yeah, your dream. Yeah, if you want to build a startup, what it look like? If you want to become young entrepreneurs, what is this look like? So this is my expectation. If you still cannot confusing, you still galau, yeah, not choose how to choose it, you can choose later. But at least I also already give you the website. Now I back to my slide. Can you see the slide? Yeah. Okay. This is the example, yeah. From Forbes 30 under 30 Asia in the creative industry that is related with culture, yeah. For example, founder Sukacita Fashion, yeah. The others is co-founder of Tani Hub, this for agriculture. The others is Fablio, yeah. The business is in furniture. So fashion furniture is related with the culture, yeah. The other example of young entrepreneur is, for example, co-founder of Kopi Kenangan. This is related with food. The others is Karta.id. It's related with advertising. And also the founder of Jalatek is affiliated with a stream. And for closing my presentation, I back to this Korean movie. Yeah? The Korean movie title is Startup is really described, yeah, about the up and down of startup. And usually when build the startup, they make a team, not one-man show. Yeah, in the team there is a role called hustler. Yeah, hustler is marketer who sell the product. There is hacker. Hacker is someone who develop the product, and there is hipster. Yeah, to make the product have a good design. And here to build startup, you need mentor. Mentor is a successful entrepreneur or someone who has already have built the startup that you can ask to. Yeah. And there is a sandbox. Sandbox here, maybe in your country sometimes called business incubator, sometimes called business accelerator. The place that where you can meet with other entrepreneur, you can meet the mentor. I think this is for today. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much, Prof. It's wonderful and insightful, especially for me, who I'm not coming from economics and business as a background. So it's really an eye-opening, Prof. Especially when you open those website, and I learn a lot. Yeah. Okay. While waiting for the participant, hello, please. If you have any question, or probably opinion or argument is also acceptable here, please type in the chat box, and we're going to discuss with Professor Wawan right here. Yeah. So, Prof, while waiting for them, typing in a question. Oh, let's have a look at this one. Okay, from Ibu Diana, it seems that this is really interesting question here. I'm not young, almost 40. Does age matter to become an entrepreneur? Thank you, Ibu. That's also my question. Okay. So probably we're talking really to something very sensitive right here. Yeah. Age. Does age matter? Yeah.
And for my understanding, it's matter for selecting the industry. Yeah. Yeah. It doesn't matter, yeah, to become entrepreneur, it doesn't matter, yeah. But when selecting the product, the business, the type of business is matter, because the entrepreneur is related with risiko, yeah. Risk and return. Usually the young entrepreneur tend to have higher risk taker than the older. Yeah.
Okay.
And it's related with the type of business that you choose. The other is that is if you do it yourself, yeah. But of course you can mitigate the risk. You can lowering the risk. How? You can make the company together with the younger. So it's look like in the car, yeah, there is gas and there is rem, yeah. There is go and there is not go, yeah. If we have car, there is gas and there is rem, yeah. Someone who have take initiative. It look like also in football. In the football, there is forward player and back player, yeah. You can combine with the younger stuff, yeah. Except if you want to go to the risk taker business, but if you go to with a lower risk business, I think it's okay. You want to have kos-kosan, it's okay, yeah. You can have a reseller for a lot of things. For example, a reseller of fashion, just do it, yeah. There is not really high. But if you want to go to something with risk, the risk very high, for example, technology business, then it's better you have a co-founder that different age, different character.
Okay, Prof. I would like to have a follow-up question on Budiana's question, Prof, regarding the age. Yeah. Yeah, this is the topic is the topic you bring is really interesting, young entrepreneur, and I was wondering about the sustainability of the business. As I know, young people may have or may acquire a knowledge and probably the technology. You also mentioned that before. They have knowledge and they have technology, but I don't think they have experience, right? I don't think they have a rich experience. So with respect to the sustainability, how young people can sustain the business without having probably an experience, do you have anything to say about this?
most of as I know, for example, yeah, Indonesia in startupranking.com there are more than 3,000 startup, yeah, and most of them is youngster, yeah, or young under 30 they start the startup, yeah. Okay, and yeah, who you address, yeah, about where we address about the experience in, yeah, in my university we have Bachelor of Entrepreneurship, and most of them have intention to become entrepreneur. In the Bachelor of Entrepreneurship, we the student make a trial, yeah, make trial. So before, so the step to develop startup is from business idea, and then they make prototype of or minimum viable product. When they have minimum viable product, they do market validation. So they show the product MVP or product prototype to the potential customer. They have a validation. Yeah, validation. The first is validation about the need. Yeah, whether the potential customer really need that product. And then the second is product validation, whether the product fulfill their market need.
Okay.
And then, yeah, together with that, they make business model. And then we make business plan. After that, they make launching. And yeah, the tip is similar with the movie of startup, yeah. To mitigate the risk, do it in group, not one by one, because they less experience, yeah. So if they do it in group, usually we make maximum 4, yeah. Then if they problem, then they can share the problem with the friend, yeah. If we make a group 2 until 4 people, but if too many people, then there are a lot of conflict, and it's difficult to make decision. Yeah, it's difficult to make this decision, yeah. Because usually they make decision together. And to, yeah, manage the risk, therefore they meet with mentor. Yeah. Usually we invite the alumni who have a startup, the alumni who have a business to support them. So the lecturer explain the concept, the lecturer introduce them with some tools, business model canvas, value proposition canvas, lean startup, many startup method, and then they run. And they also have a mentor to be consult. And yeah, also I mentioned, yeah, it's need to have a business entrepreneurship ecosystem. It's need to you to join business incubator, because there you can share, yeah, with other people. You can join sandbox, business incubator, business accelerator.
Okay, so in this case, they learn, the experience come from the learning process itself, yeah, Prof. Okay. Prof, we have a couple of questions right here. First from Tan Hua. I wonder whether a student could do a startup. Yeah, I think you have mentioned before, but do you want to answer this?
Yeah, of course, you can do it, yeah. And yeah, you can have a trial and action, yeah, because in almost all university there is business incubator, there is business accelerator, as there is some course in entrepreneurship. So you can join that course, then you can try your startup, yeah. During your study, yeah, if you success, yeah, the student who success in their startup during the university, they tend to continue their business, yeah. But if they fail, maybe they can pivot or change their business idea, or maybe they finally choose to work, yeah. So it's good to try, yeah, during your time to student.
Okay. Another question from Jabir. I have one idea, and I see that idea as a bright one. How can I find the mentor and the fund for the project? And how could I convince the investor about the project? Wow, that's really hard question. Okay, yes, Prof.
Usually, if someone who has idea, yeah, they go to what I say the business incubator or accelerator, because there you can find mentor, you can also find seed funding. And Indonesia, usually, if we not go to get investor directly, yeah, but we join business competition, yeah. For example, in Indonesia, we have program Creative Minds Mahasiswa, we have PMB program Mahasiswa Wirausaha funded by ministry. This is the seed funding. The seed funding is the beginning. At least using that seed funding, you can have a prototype or minimum viable product. If you already have prototype or minimum viable product, then it's time to go to investor. Usually, we not advise to go to investor directly, but for the student, we advise to join business competition.
Okay, thank you, Prof. Of course, guys, you can have a follow-up question if you think you want to discuss further about the Prof. Wawan responses. Please feel free to do that. Ibu Lohana is asking a question too. What kind of business which is suitable for people from academician background? So, for example, teaching staff or lecturer or researcher. Do we have to start a business based on experience or passion? Oh, that's an interesting question. Which one? Experience or passion come first?
There is no, if we talk the source of idea, sumber ide, we not stick with one. Yeah, it can be come from many things. Yeah, come from experience, can be yes. It's come from hobby, yes. It come from previous work experience, yes. It's come from the friend, yes. It can be from opportunity, yes. It can be from anyone. So there is no single formula said if the business come from experience always success. No, it can be from anywhere.
Okay. And in most of the time, it comes from a dream. Am I right, Prof? Is that right? And many times, the big ideas start from a dream. Probably. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Usually, that the idea is can come from what we have or what we want to have. Can want to have to can dream. What we have is like say experience, hobby.
Okay. Wow, that's really an eye-opening, and insightful. I've never thought of that idea. Prof, we have Tanzila Kainat from Pakistan. As we know that COVID-19 creates a lot of impact on the economy. So how can we protect our small business from the virus or probably, the impact of the COVID-19? Yeah.
Overall, if we talk overall industry, overall business, overall economy, then I say yes that the pandemic make the economic downturn.
Yeah.
The pandemic make the economic growth decrease. Yeah, but we should say that in every difficulty there is always opportunity. For example, if we talk about medicine business, then it's boom. Yeah, everybody need vaccine. Everybody need masker. Everybody need hand sanitizer. Everybody need swab test. Everybody. So the medicine business boom. Yeah.
Okay, so
Okay, yeah, and also for example, pharmaceutical business, it's also increase. Yeah, the others is for example, we call logistic or distribution company. People stay at home. Then when people order food, for example, then we need a logistic. This also increase, yeah. At least in Indonesia. What I see in Indonesia, the medicine business increase, the logistic distribution increase. The others is telecommunication. For example, now almost everybody use Zoom or Google Meet or WebEx or Microsoft Teams, yeah. So that business also increase. But there is also business to change the behavior. Yeah. For example, food. Everybody need food. Yeah. You need food, I need food. But the difference is behavior. Before, if I need food, I go to restaurant, I eat there. Now the behavior change. I stay at home, I order the food. But yes, overall economic downturn. For example, the sector that most hit is tourism. Yeah, people tend to stay at home, so they could not go to any tourist place. Yeah, tourism. The other is transportation. Yeah, people tend to stay in the same city. For example, I didn't go to Malang, yeah, or Prof didn't go to Bandung, or I didn't go to your country.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in every difficulty, there is always opportunity. Yeah. Okay, that's my answer.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember, Prof. I remember at the previous or at the beginning of your presentation, you mentioned about the fact that a business opportunity in most of the time come from the unhappiness. When you feel unhappy or probably you're not satisfied with things or you find problem, that is actually the hurt of entrepreneurship. You start from the unhappiness to create probably the happiness, and that happiness probably create another unhappiness, and then we create and keep creating business opportunities. Yeah, I remember that, Prof, at the beginning of your presentation. Okay, yeah, we have another question probably in the chat box right here. Mohammed Umar, yeah. Oh, I think this is not a question about the, is it a question about the materials or the Professor Wawan presentation, or probably about the opportunity to join the MOOC? I mean, the overall teaching and learning of this program. I'm not quite sure about this question. Probably you can clarify that, Mohammed. Yeah. Prof, while waiting for another question, I have a simple one right here. You mentioned that startup. No, every time you show the startup, like in your presentation, I'm thinking that those startup are really closely connected to computerized and digital things. So the question is startup always and will always be about computer and digital? Is it possible of, to have a startup without something computer or something digital? Is it possible or not?
Of course, everything possible, yeah.
Okay.
Of course, everything possible. Yeah.
Yeah.
But, now the trend is everything need digital. But please answer that when we talk about technology, we talk about digital, it can be technology as a core and can be as a support. Yeah. For example, if we talk about Zoom, yeah, Zoom, Google Meet, the core is technology. Yeah.
Right.
But if we talk about food, yeah, food, fashion, craft, culinary, technology as a support. Yeah.
Okay.
Your food, your fashion, your craft is still same.
Yeah.
But
right.
you need technology as a support to sell, yeah, only to sell.
Yeah.
So please, in my presentation, yeah, I clarify that technology or digital can be a core business, can be a supporting.
So it's exactly two different story, Prof. Yeah, it's different things. Yeah. So it's not always, startup, it's not always coming with technology and digital. It can be not something digital and computer. Okay, and that makes me happy, Prof, because I actually come from a village, and I'm thinking that villagers may not be, familiar with computer and those high technology. And I was wondering whether villager or people living in a village can still do a startup without being able to have a knowledge or skill in operating the computer. That's actually what I have in my mind. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay, Prof. Wawan. We have no more question in the chat box here. Well, we have 10 minutes left, Prof. 10 minutes left till we need to close the presentation. Do you have probably a closing remark before we close the first session?
I think it's good opportunity for all of you, yeah, to have this kind of bootcamp. It's good bootcamp. I think it's come from different country, yeah. You can learn culture. At least you can learn culture, yeah, business culture, and what is good in one country, what is good in other country, and later on maybe you can go with business opportunity, yeah, export import, but it's later on. But at least you have friends in different countries, so maybe someday if you visit that country, then you have friends there, yeah. So I think this bootcamp, the Entrepreneurship Camp, is good, yeah, for all of you. Okay, that's my closing remark.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I learned a lot, and I do believe everyone participating in this forum also have so many takeaways from Prof. Wawan's presentation. I don't need to sort of summarize the presentation because it's just too big. It's just too much for me. But something that I mostly learned is that a couple of important things here is a business culture. Prof. Wawan has underlined that, and the relationship between business and the culture. And then the business ecosystem is also another key, probably a key element in entrepreneurship. And I do love this statement of Prof. Wawan. To start a startup, you can start small, and that's, I love that statement, Prof. Thank you so much. Okay, everyone, I think we need to finally come to the closing. Again, we thank you so much, Prof. Wawan, for a rich and resourceful information, for the eye-opening statement and presentation. And of course, we need to learn more, and we just cannot wait to have more discussion with you in the future. And thank you, everyone, for staying with us. We're going to have the second session after lunch break, I guess. Yeah, I think the committee is going to communicate with you about the second session. Yeah. Thank you, and goodbye, everyone.